I want to talk to you today about skylights. I'm not a big fan of skylights. I don't think a quality roofer should be a fan of skylights. And a lot of people ask me why. And I understand that they might bring light into the home and they're a nice aesthetic for the interior. But as far as for the health of your roof, anytime you're cutting a hole in a roof, that's not a great idea for me. A lot of people would like to say that skylights are going to leak. It's not if, but when. So either way, it's a problem that we deal with all the time. And so we're going to show you and talk to you a little bit today about how we replace skylights. So a few things that you're going to note on here are there's the actual glass, of course, of the skylight, but there's also what they call the flashing kit, which is the surrounding body of the skylight itself. So you can see just how far this extends up the roof. And of course, the shingles were covering this down to about here. You can see the line. Of course, you can see the nail holes where the shingles were fastened through it. There's a lot of dirt and debris that builds up around the skylight. You also have on the interior, there's going to be drywall in the skylight chase. There's going to be trim around it. So when we tear this off, there's always going to be some debris that falls down into the chute, down into the interior of the house. So the first thing that we're going to do when we go to replace these is make sure that we go inside, put down drop cloths so we can contain that debris and not have a mess for the homeowner. One other thing to note on the skylight, you have these screws that are here on top. And so all of these flashing kits are no longer made with fasteners that are on the top. They're now done on the sides. And you can tell it's pretty obvious why. If they're on the top, they're going to be exposed to water, to UV, to all the weathering. They're going to rust and there's going to be problems with those seals. The rubber seal that goes around that screw is going to dry out, shrink, crack, and disintegrate. And so now all of them are on the side walls of the skylight and the flashing kit to prevent that from happening. Most skylights that we find out in the field are made of a tempered glass. And code has come out recently and said that any skylight that's above 10 feet off of the ground needs to be a laminate glass and not a tempered glass. So as you look at this skylight, I'm actually kind of shocked to find this is already a laminate glass. And the way that you can tell is there's etchings that are in the glass. They're usually going to be in one of the corners. A lot of times they're backwards because they're meant to read from the inside looking up at it rather than from the roof looking down at it. But you can see right here, the etching actually says laminated safety glass. So this is a rare find for us to find a skylight that's, I'm going to say 10, 15 years old that was a laminate glass. So that's good. All the skylights that we're going to be going back with on this home are going to be of laminate glass. So now we're on the interior of the home where a skylight we just took out. So what I want to show you is what we do to basically prep the area. Pretty darn simple. We're going to put down a drop cloth. This one came out really nice and clean. There was just some dust, some drywall dust, things like that come floating down. But sometimes we get insulation, pieces of the trim. You never know what you're going to find. So we want to make sure that we protect the floors, protect the interior of the house. And then again, this area here, this cutout area of the ceiling is what I refer to as a skylight chase or chute. And that's the area where it's drywalled in. But you can tell, again, the area from the ground here all the way up is more than 10 feet, which is why it's required to have laminate glass in that skylight.